Dear students of HSC class in Rajshahi College, today I am again to discuss right forms of verbs. Look at the title of this class, right forms of verbs revision. That is, the topic had already been discussed in this online class arrangement. Today I will make a simple revision of the issue and probably I will add a few new things for you. Let us start for today's discussion. Right forms of verbs means actually right forms of tense forms. That is, you are already acquainted with the idea that in the question paper you are given a number of sentences, and in those sentences there are a number of verbs within brackets, and you are asked to determine and write the correct form of that verb, more precisely the correct tense forms of the verbs. Well, it is not obligatory that there will be only 12 forms of verbs determined for the sentences. We have three types of verb forms which do not belong to any particular tense form. Probably you can remember the class I took on different types of verbs. In that class I told you that verbs are of three types. In the broad sense, they are finite verbs, non-finite verbs, and auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs usually help the finite verb to express the tense form of the finite verb. That is, all finite verbs have tense forms, vice versa. But only tense forms can determine a verb's being finite. But non-finite verbs are those verbs which belong to no particular tense form, which belong to neither of the 12 verb forms. You know, we have three non-finite verbs are those verbs which do not belong to either of the 12 tense forms, and that is, while discussing on different types of verbs, I told you about the use of present participle and past participle. And also infinitives. And also infinitives. These three types of verbs do not belong to any particular, any of the 12 tense forms. Therefore, they are called verb forms. So, if you have a verb to determine its form, you may have 15 options and you have to choose one among the 15 options, 12 options of 12 tense forms of a verb and 3 non-finite forms of the verb. Therefore, we will have to select or determine the form of a verb from an option of 15 different forms. How shall we determine them? Let us first consider determining the tense form of the finite verbs. You know, every finite verb must have a subject. So, whenever you have a clear idea about the subject of the verb to be determined its form, you make sure that the verb should be expressed in a tense form. But when you get more than one verbs in a single sentence with a single in a single clause with a single subject, I repeat, when you get more than one verbs with a single subject in a single clause, you make sure that one verb will be written in the finite form, that is in either of the 12 verb forms, and the other one must be expressed in either of the 3 non-finite forms of verbs. For example, we have two verbs in this sentence, see and go. We have I as the subject of the verb. I as the subject of the verb see. Therefore, see should be the finite verb and go should be expressed in the non-finite, in either of the non-finite forms. Well, when you have the verb to be expressed in the finite form, that is in either of the 12 forms of verbs or 12 tense forms, try to find the probable tense form of the verb. We do not have any adverb of time in this sentence. Therefore, we will simply write it in the simple present form or present indefinite form. I see the glass. Because of going there. We have made this verb go present participle to determine its right form, and at the same time, as she has a subject, therefore we have expressed the verb she in the finite form, and since there is no adverbial of time in the sentence or clause, we have presented it, expressed it in the present participle form. Actually, you have to determine the form of a verb on the basis of the adverb of time used in the clause, and What are the adverbs of time? For example, adverbs like yesterday, tomorrow, last, next, now, then, just, now, just then, since, well, duration, you have to determine the verb form, tense form of the verb on the basis of these adverbs used in the clause. If there is no adverb or every plus every day, every morning, etc., or usually, or regularly, make sure that the verb should be written in simple present, or present indefinite form. Present indefinite form. If you have yesterday, past indefinite, last is also indicative of past indefinite tense. Includes last, last year, last month, last Friday, last Saturday, etc. Tomorrow is for future indefinite. And includes next, such as next Friday, next year, next month, all should be expressed in future indefinite tense. Therefore, last should be expressed in past indefinite, next should be expressed in future indefinite. For now, we will use present continuous form. and for then past continuous form. For just and just now, for both we use present perfect. Present perfect form, and for just then we use past perfect form. And now there comes the question of duration. Durations are expressed in two ways: since plus a noun phrase or noun, since Friday, since last Monday. Well, usually only last is used to determine past indefinite tense, but when there is an adverbial since last Friday, since last year, since last month, we will use perfect continuous tense. That is, if there is no other past indicator or future indicator, we will use it in the present continuous perfect continuous form, or if there is any reference of the past or future, we will use either the past perfect continuous or future perfect continuous. Since plus NP, for plus NP with only noun phrase, for plus numeral plus noun. For example, for 2 months, 2 is the numeral, month is the noun. For 5 years, 5 is the numeral and years is the noun. So you have such a structure of the adverbial of time, or such a structure since plus noun phrase, that should be written in the perfect continuous form. I am sorry, I could not prepare the slides of these definitions or of these citations, because last night I was not physically very well. I felt tired, and therefore I could not prepare any slide for you. If I could prepare them, that would be more benevolent for you. In any case, I hope you can understand well what I mean to say to determine the right form of verb given in your question paper. So, if we have no adverb or adverbs like every, plus, usually, regularly, without any indication of last or next, we will express the verb of that clause or sentence in the simple present or present indefinite form. We have the mentions of the adverbs like yesterday or last. We will use the verb in the past indefinite form. Similarly, for tomorrow or next, we will present the verb, express the verb in the future indefinite form. For now, we will use the present continuous form, and for then similarly the past continuous form. For just now present perfect, and for just then past perfect, and for duration either with since plus noun or noun phrase, or for plus numeral plus noun, we will use perfect continuous forms of the verbs. Still, we have some different types of use of right form of the verbs. For example, I have already mentioned at the beginning of the class that we have 3 more verb forms other than the 12 tense forms, that is the non-finite verbs, present participle, past participle and the infinitives. We have another variation. The variation is that sometimes we have some finite verbs, transitive verbs. What are the transitive verbs? The verbs which usually take an object, the verbs which always take an object. They are called transitive verbs. For example, when I write, I see them, I defined in a previous class what is an object. When the finite verb follows an object, when a finite verb is followed by an object, the verb is transitive verb. But when there is no object after the finite verb, for example, he seems sick. This sick is a complement because it refers to the subject. This is a complement. And seems is a linking verb. The verb followed by a complement is called linking verb. The verb followed by an object is called a transitive verb, and a verb followed by an adverb is called intransitive verb. You came yesterday, or maybe there is no verb after the there is no object or complement or adverb. Such verbs are called intransitive verbs. For example, he slept. We have neither an object or a complement or an adverb after the finite verb in this sentence, he slept. Therefore, this came or this slept are verb intransitive or intransitive verbs. Our problem is with a verb like this one, transitive verbs. There are transitive verbs which always are used with a noun as the object, noun or noun phrase as the object. For example, there are so many verbs. I am citing a few examples. Read, write, need, make. Read, write, need, make, eat, drink, feel, well, there are so many verbs which always need an object in their usual forms. But if we have a verb like this one that needs an object, without any object, we make sure that the verb should be expressed in the passive form. For example, she find in the school. Now, we have in the school is an adverb of place. I told you that adverb means when, where, how, why, how long, how far the verb takes place. In the school determines where the verb took place. Adverb of place. Usually, and of course, this verb in this sentence will be expressed in the verb intransitive form. But find is basically or fundamentally a transitive verb, though we do not have any object after find. If you have either of the finite verbs that needs an object after it, you should write it, you must write it in the passive form. She is found or was, since there is no adverb of time, she is or was found in the school. Let us see the use of the verb find in the active form. Here, she is or was found in the school is expressed in the passive form, and if we want to express find in the active form, we will have to write a clause like this one. She found her friend in the school. And thus, you see, after the verb find, we have an object, her friend. But again, the chair occupy. Before they came. You know, the chair occupy. Occupy means get possession of something. That is, there must be an object, a noun or noun phrase after the verb occupy. But here we do not have any noun or noun phrase occupy. Therefore, we will have to write the verb in the passive form. The chair was occupied. before they came. Thus, we have to determine whether the verb should be written in the active or passive. How shall we determine active or passive? We will make those verbs passive which needs but does not have any object after it. And in a similar way, we will write a verb, we will express a verb in the non-finite form when we have two verbs with a single subject. One of the verbs, one is finite and the other one is non-finite. So, these are the theoretical approach to learning how to write the right forms of verbs. Now, let us go for doing some practical sentences, expressing practically some verbs in their right forms. I am giving you some examples. Of course, the examples will not be the usual ones that we get in the guide books or grammar books. I felt it necessary to discuss the topic because whenever I go for taking a class with the students of Rajshahi College, I very initially ask the students to determine and express different verbs in their right forms. And if I give 8 or 10 or 12 problems, I never get all the problems solved by any single individual student. Neither of the students can make correct answers to all the problems. Neither of the students can solve all the problems correctly in a single class. Maybe out of 10, they can determine 7, 8, at best 9 verbs correctly. Therefore, I felt it necessary to discuss the issue in the classroom. So far, I have discussed number 1, usually the verb should be expressed in either of the 12 tense forms in the active form. And when we have a natural transitive verb without any object, we will express it in the passive form. And finally, when we have only one subject for two verbs in a sentence or clause, we will present one verb in the finite form and or tense form, and the other one in the non-finite or no tense form. Let us look at some examples. Number 1. Look at this sentence. The verb thing in the bracket, the matter tell us to go there. We have two verbs in this sentence, and for both of the verbs think and tell we have only one finite, only one subject, he. So we will have to express one of the two verbs in the finite or tense form and the other one in the non-finite or verb form. Which verb should we write in the tense form? If we write, he thinks the matter tell us, this does not match the structure of the sentence. Therefore, we will express this verb, express think in the non-finite form. He thinking the matter tells us, since there is no adverbial, or told us, both will be correct, to go there. Actually, the structure of the sentence is like this one. He thinking the matter as the modifier. In the modifier class, in the class in which I discussed on modifier, I told you that present participle phrases can be used as post modifier. Thinking the matter actually functions here as the post modifier of noun or pronoun he. He thinking the matter tells us to go there. This thing is used in the present participle form. When we were students, we had very commonly a sentence in the question paper. You may get it in your guidebooks. Rome built in a day. You know, Rome is the name of a city, a historical city, and build is always a transitive verb that needs an object. What one builds. What one builds. But we have an adverbial of time after build. So we should write the verb build in the passive form. Rome not built. Rome was not built in a day. But if the verb build was would be in this in such a sentence like Caesar. Caesar means Julius Caesar, the famous Roman Empire. Build Rome not in a day. So, we have the object Rome. Therefore, we would write the verb in the active form, and it is a historical fact. Therefore, we will write it in the past form. Caesar built Rome not in a day, or Caesar did not build Rome in a day. Both will be correct if you have such a sentence. But if you do not have an object like Rome after the verb build, or after a natural finite verb, a natural transitive verb, you need to write the verb in the passive form like that one. Rome was not built in a day. Let us see another example. There look at the sentence. They consider now how to do it. I told it that when you have the adverbial noun, you will express the verb that is in the, for this sentence, you will express consider in the present continuous form. They are considering. Now, how to do it? One interesting thing to be noted here is that consider is also a natural finite verb like make, build, write, read, eat, drink, etc. That is what the verb does should be there in the sentence or clause, but we do not have any noun or noun phrase following the verb consider. Yet we will consider this adverbial clause, adverbial phrase, how to do it, as the object of the verb consider. Sometimes how to do, what to do, where to go, how to swim are considered the object of the verbs like consider, think, know, etc. I know how to do it. Here how to do it functions as the object of the finite verb know. Therefore, you can use the finite verb know in this sentence. I know how to do it. You can change it in the passive form. It is known how to do it. It is known. You have made the verb in the passive form. Similarly, consider can be used. It is considered by them. It is considered by them. If you want to use the verb in the passive form, it is considered by them. Now how to, it is being considered by them. Now how to do it. But you do not need to use the verb in the passive form, because how to do it is the direct object of the verb consider, and you, for the presence of now, you should express the verb in the present continuous tense. And if there was the adverb, then instead of now you have to write it in the past continuous form. They were considering, then how to do it. And if there was a just, in the sentence, they just consider how to do it. For the presence of just, you should have to write the verb, express the verb in the present perfect tense. They just have considered how to do it. If there was both just and then, both just and then, still it would be expressed in the present perfect form. They have considered, just then means past perfect. They had considered just then how to do it. For just and then we have the past perfect form. But like just now is also just now and just make the same tense form, that is present perfect form. They have considered how to do it. Therefore, the presence of just or just now in the clause determines its finite verbs being in the present perfect form. Similarly, the presence of just then determines its finite verbs being expressed in the past perfect form. And I told that when there is the duration of the verb's function is presented, is there in the clause or sentence. I repeat, whenever there is the duration of the verb's action is present in the clause or sentence, that should be expressed in the perfect continuous form. Look at the sentence. I write, he sleep there for 2 days. 2 days determine the duration. So, there is no indication of future or past in this sentence. Therefore, we will write the verb or express the verb in the present perfect continuous. He has been sleeping there, sorry, 2 TWO, 2 days there for 2 days. Because of the presence of a duration of time in the clause, like for 2 days, we have expressed the verb in the present perfect continuous. If there was the use of any reference like of the past, like yesterday or last night, even last year, because of the presence of yesterday or last, we would write it in the past perfect continuous tense. He had been sleeping there for 2 days yesterday or last night. And sometimes duration is presented in the noun present by the use of since with a noun phrase such as he sleep since Friday. Because of the presence of since and noun, we will make this verb present this verb or determine the right form of the verb in the present perfect continuous. He has been sleeping since Friday or last Friday, since Friday or last Friday. Therefore, any adverbial with for or since will make the finite verb of the clause in the perfect continuous tense forms. Well, students, in a previous class, you were acquainted with the right forms of verbs in the sentences. Today, I have made a revision of that class, and I think your concepts will be more clear after this class, and thus let us say goodbye for today. I hope to come to you again after the Holy Eid vacation. During the Eid days, enjoy the festival inside your homes along with your family members, and make sure that in the festival days you will maintain the health rules to continue your safety from COVID-19 virus. Hoping you all the best, and I call a day this time, and goodbye, Eid Mubarak to all. Thank you all.